I ended up doing one of the weekend, and I've started a couple of the courses by now.
Oh, good. Okay. Now, if you don't have a login, Trey, did you get that figured out? What I had her change it to Tracy. I mean to Trey, but you should have gotten that. Did that login work that I emailed you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. All right. Do any of you have any? Do I need to go into DeltinaU to show you all? Like, or is everybody pretty straightforward?
Yeah.
Okay.
I had a quick question about the DeltinaU.
Okay.
Is any of that for credit, or is it just simply to kind of help us along with the material?
Well, the quiz that I give this time, because I didn't know she had all those quizzes in there, that will help you with the chapters, because if you notice, the chapters in the book are a little bit outdated, and so what happened is she's in the process of updating the book, and so since she did not have that out yet, she gave us access to all those courses which have the updated material in them.
Okay.
So I don't know if that answers your question specifically. I'm not going to test you over those courses yet. The quizzes have questions that would come from that material and the book.
I guess my question would be, if we take those quizzes, are they going to be for credit, or is it maybe?
Oh, those quizzes that are in there, I'm looking into. I can probably, what I might do on that is give you all either some extra credit or something like that, or I might put those in instead of you taking the other quiz. If you take them enough to, like she lets you take them until you get 100%.
Yeah, right.
And which is I like that way of doing it. And so if you prefer to do that and go through those courses, then what I'll probably do is count those in place of the other two quizzes, and maybe if you do more of them. I'm not sure how many courses do you all have access to. Is there like 9, I think?
I think there's like 7 to 9 of them.
Okay, I know for sure, like the, let's see, let me go into there and look at that, and I'll do screen share here. Let me go up here.
Yeah, there's 9 of them.
9 of them. Okay, let me look at some of those titles for sure and compare them to the chapters in the book, so I will know. Oh gosh, where's my password? I forgot. She gave me a real new password. Let's see if I can find it. Here we go. Go back to minus. Okay, so you all have like the Google Plus. See, there was not even anything on Google Plus in the chapter, so I haven't watched that tutorial, but hopefully that was a really good one. This one is the one that's chapter 6, I believe, social bookmarking and crowdsourcing. And so I wasn't going to go ahead and do any kind of lecture over that chapter because this tutorial there explains it, the most recent. And what are some of the social media tools that are used for social bookmarking and crowdsourcing? Have any of you gotten that far yet?
No, not yet.
Not yet? Anyone know? Like social bookmarking would be like the one on your assignment checklist where I tell you to get a Delicious account. And crowdsourcing, well, all of those are kind of combined with the dig. I have you do a dig and some others, I believe. I know Jacob was in here when I went over the assignment checklist, but I'm not sure if any of the rest of you were. Is there any questions over that assignment checklist?
Mm-hmm.
No. Because I think.
I have a question, I guess.
Okay.
I know I haven't been doing much, but I have like a deployment this week, and so is the checklist due by Monday?
No.
The first one?
The assignment checklist is for the entire course. So, like, I had students when I've taught this before wanted just a list of everything that was required. I have added a few things that I look at on your slide share that's at the end of the semester. But let me show you a couple of examples. But the checklist, oh, that isn't what I meant to do. Sorry about that. Let's see.
We're talking about the Eve note, right?
Pardon?
We're talking about the Eve note, right? Weeks 1 and 2?
Yes. No, I'm talking about this right here.
Oh.
Do you see it? Can you see it from there? Are y'all seeing my screen all right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the assignment checklist and points that tells you this is where the majority of the points come in. And so you can find out how many things you have to get done in order to get the grade that you want to get, because there's a total of 500 points. So the quizzes like that Jacob was talking about that are inside DeltinaU, if you take those quizzes, then I can give you credit somewhere on those. Either if you don't get all of these done, I can give you some points on that. I'll send out, I'll post in Evernote the options for if you take those quizzes. Is there anyone that's not sure what we're talking about when in DeltinaU?
Yeah, I'm not.
Okay, right here in DeltinaU, like if you go to the Blogging 101 course and say at the end of this one, there's a quiz here. I think it's under assignments. Let me look where that's at. That's where I found it. There's forums. Maybe it's under resources.
It should be under assignments.
I bet it's because I've already done it. There it is. Yeah, under assignments, there's a course quiz for once you watch that video called Planning a Successful Blog. This is a quiz that you can take in there, and she lets you take it as many times until you get every question correct. So I can go in there under yours because I'm an administrator of the group, and I can see. Have you taken any of the quizzes, Jacob, or anybody else?
I take.
No.
You have?
Yes.
Okay. Is that Jacob saying that?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Let me go to the group, and I should be able to see where.
The Blogging 101 quiz, and I've taken the Facebook quiz just today.
Okay, let me see if it will let me somehow. I'm new in her tutorial too, so I'm going to have to figure it out. But I'm sure I can see that. She told me she would help me. See, I can put announcements in here. Well, I'll be able to look in there, but I don't know exactly how to do it yet. But I will be able to see that you've taken a quiz and what you got on it. And what I was telling you also is instead of, I think I put this in Evernote, that instead of doing our discussions that you'll notice in the syllabus, it talks about, I think there's 4 discussions that I usually post in D2L where the introduction was. But I'm going to put them here in the forum because it's a little easier in here to comment on each other's. So you'll see posted in here, the first one is probably the title of it's going to be Facebook Obsession. And there will be a little article and an infographic, and then you will also have a question that you can start the discussion with, and everybody is required to post to this discussion, and I think there's 4 of them that I'll put out here in the next 3 weeks that you'll post to, and instead of it being in D2L, we're going to do it right here in this forum. Okay, so what was the other thing I was going to make sure? Okay, so in this checklist, these are the number of points that you get for doing, like, say, your SlideShare account, creating an account, and your actual document can actually be the final is your SlideShare, and I'm going to show you an example of one, and we'll talk about the final probably the last week.
I have a question about the checklist.
Okay.
So, and I may have missed something, but a lot of this stuff on the checklist, is it going to be something that we, like, you'll verify later, or like, do we need to send you proof that we did it, or how do you?
Okay, good question. The way we do that is, like, on your final, when you create your SlideShare show for me that I'll see, you'll take screenshots, like, of your RSS feed reader, and that will show me your RSS feeds. But all of this, the rest of this, and when you do your SlideShare, you'll see on the final rubric, and I'll click on that here in a minute. The final rubric shows you what has to be in your PowerPoint. I say SlideShare, you can create it in PowerPoint and then upload it to SlideShare. But like your WordPress blog, eventually all of these things, the Twitter, not Hootsuite, Facebook, you'll show me a screenshot of your Hootsuite. But Pinterest, LinkedIn, Flickr, all of those, there will be a link in your WordPress blog to each of these accounts. And so at the end of the semester, I will be able to go to your blog address and find all of these accounts to give you credit for them.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, so basically most of the points in this class is that one project, and that project includes almost all this stuff here.
Yes, the PowerPoint,
yeah.
You're actually going to get credit for it twice, because some of the things that are not required in the, like this part, it says D2L interaction. That's the part I was just showing you that'll actually be in the DeltinaU forum, is these discussions that but this 15 points is different than the discussion points, because these points are where you actually comment on someone else's blog or those discussions.
How many times do we need to comment on somebody else's blog?
I think this one says, I guess I didn't put that there. I need to change that. Usually at least 3 times, maybe between 3 and 5 times.
Okay.
Okay, and let's see. Let me go back into what else is in the table of contents that I missed. Because some of you missed the first night. I think I did go over the syllabus then. But if there's any, that's what I wanted to show you, though, the grading scale in there, so that it makes sense to what I was saying. Okay, right here, those assignments worth 250 points, the discussions are those that will be at DeltinaU that are worth 50 points total. Then the 2 quizzes at 100 points. So I need to look, Jacob, at those quizzes, and I think most of them are just something like 10 questions. So it would probably take 5 of those to make up for one of these quizzes, or I can also substitute some of these items. But you'll notice the final project is 150 points, so it will be taking some of these things and putting them into a presentation. And let me show you on the home page. Oh, I don't need to get out of there all the way. On the home page, these are all the ones. I think everyone that is here tonight, I have Jacobs, who else? Trey's, Aaron, Wesley. Is there anybody that I don't that's there tonight that I don't have your link here?
I don't see my name on there.
Who is that?
Devontae?
Okay, do you have your WordPress blog?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll go back. Did you send it in an email?
Yeah, I emailed you my address, right? That's what I'm supposed to do.
Yes. Okay,
Okay.
well, I'll go back and look. Was it in the Raider email that you sent it to me?
Yes.
Okay, I'll go back and look for it, or you can send me another email.
Okay.
These are some from another semester, and let me see if I can remember which one. Some of these are good, and some of them are lacking in some areas. Let me see. I think it was this one that had a good, if her presentation is still here, I was going to show you. See, she started adding some stuff. Just here's the, this was her last final, this was her final presentation PowerPoint. It has 15 slides, and so that will be the last post of your blog at the end of the 4 weeks, which will have the slide share that she created. The only difference is that since this time we have so many students, and I went over this, I know, the last time, the ones who met in the online, but we have so many students that we cannot do our presentations live, or we would be here 3 or 4 hours. I'm just saying, I have 23 students in this class. Not that all of them will finish, but you know, it ended up when students did their presentations, even though it says 3 to 5 minutes, it usually took 5 to 10 minutes. Most students did at least 10 minutes. And so you can see it would take so long that what I determined this semester that we're going to do is you'll create your slide share, and then you can go onto Google Plus and record like I'm doing our webinar. You can do a Hangout and tell it to start recording like I do our lectures, and then that is what it will automatically go out to YouTube, your YouTube account, and I can view your final presentation from your YouTube account. So the last time we meet, that last week, I will go over that in detail, show you how to do that. I just wanted to show you that's kind of where we're headed. This is a fairly good WordPress blog. I think that she has some of her badges missing. The other thing is some of the social media accounts have changed their links, like her Twitter. See, is not working right now, and something else. She didn't have all of them here, but this is similar. These are all widgets that have allowed her WordPress blog to be considered more optimized because it has categories, it has recent posts. She has her page with links on them, things that she added to her blog. Okay, so this is one. There's some others there that are examples also, but I thought that might be beneficial. Somebody, Johnny Reed, he must not be in my, let me see if I can give him a invite and see if that will help. Okay, where is it? Oh, I know where it is. Okay. Oh, it says he's in the circle. Oh, there's some other people's command. Kindle. Okay. All right. So anybody that just out Kindle or anyone else, if you have any questions of something I didn't cover or any questions at all, I'm sure somebody else will also have that question, just not asking. So if you have any questions, that's what I'm open for now. And otherwise, we can log off if you're cool with everything. Only thing I didn't open up was Evernote. Does anybody have any questions about like what I'm doing in Evernote? How that works? Hey, you guys are good. No, good. Okay. All right. Then next week I will have a time again, but unless you are having some problems or need to talk to me, you're not required to come into the Hangout the next couple weeks. But I know the week of the final, the last week of July, I believe that is. I will probably have a couple of times then, because I know there's some students need daytime, and yet I seem to get the most students if I do an evening one. But anyway, go ahead and let me know if there's anything that you need before that time, but you're not required.
Real quick, can you just tell us like what we need to have done by this week?
Oh, sure. That is kind of tough to see. On that, everything that is on the, let me see if I can find how to show you that. One thing to look at is at DeltinaU. You should, if you have done like the RSS feeds and you've done your Facebook and your Twitter. The ones that, okay, let me look in the beginning of the book will help me remember the outline, because when I did the assignment checklist, I did have those in order, and then I've added some other things. But like the topics that are being covered, like in the beginning, the RSS feeds, the WordPress blog, and then like where I was saying you should have a couple of blog posts. And be sure your blog posts are either articles about social media or come from the Facebook page, class Facebook page. Did anyone have any trouble finding that? So I have a lot of articles out there, but also in DeltinaU, I don't know if you have access to some of these that I was just showing, these news items. There's a lot of social media items in here, and I'm not sure if they're showing up on yours or not. But these are articles that you can blog about also. Here's one on Mark Zuckerberg. So anyway, those are things that you should have. Okay, by the end, is this the second week? This is the end of the second week. So you should have around 5 blog posts completed, and they should be getting better as you begin to blog more, and after you've viewed her tutorials on this one, I think is the one that shows finding your style and planning your blog. That's the one. There's some that show. She has one that says the anatomy of a blog post, and I gave you all a link in Evernote to it, but I'm trying to remember if it's in here also. Introduction to blogs, types of blogs. I thought it was in this one. It may be in Blogging 101. I'm not sure, but I do have that one linked in Evernote. Right here, creating good web content. And it also has blogging ethics and policies. This one you're going to do a discussion on too, on the blogging ethics. Let's see. Bonus lessons from WordPress. See, this one I may be the one. I think this one may be the one that has the anatomy. I thought it even said it though. Bonus lessons. You also should have that whole course called WordPress.com Essentials. understanding blogging. Maybe that one's it. Yeah, there it is. Okay, anatomy of a blog post. This is the one that will show you the things that I'm going to be looking for when I look at your blog post. And I don't expect the first one or two to have everything in it or look really polished. But by the end, hopefully your blog post, you will be able to see a difference in the way you write blog posts. Because you'll be reading ones of hers, you'll be looking through the tutorials, and the idea behind a blog post is do not write a summary. You want to write things that would cause people to want to come back to your site. So you pick things out of that article that was interesting to you that you feel like might draw somebody to your site. And what we're doing here, remember, is we're learning to really use these tools to promote something. That in this case, we're promoting social media, okay, because that's what we're learning. But the idea is that you, like I know I have a student, I think it's Kat, that she's actually doing her business, creating her blog around her business, but she's also including all the requirements for the course, but she's going ahead and creating her blog to promote a business. So that's the idea behind all of this, is to really learn how to use the tools, and then later my advanced course, which I know most of you probably will not take, we create a full business marketing strategy using the tools, because just because you learn all the tools doesn't mean that you have to use them all when promoting a business. It depends. That's one of the things that you learn throughout whenever your particular business or service or book, if you're trying to promote that, you pick the things that they're the tools that would help you the most. You don't have to use them all. So that's what the whole purpose here is that you become really, really educated on the tools and how to use them to do the things other than socialize with friends or family or whatever. Okay, so I think I've covered, I think I got to what all I intended to. If there's something else that you all feel free to email me, and also I will try to probably the first part of next week I'll be available, some in the daytime and one time in the evening. So if you do have questions that you'd rather talk about in person, we can do that, or not in person.
I have a quick question.
Okay.
What day does this course officially end on?
I have that in the syllabus, I believe, but I also, let me look on this schedule to make sure I have two classes. Let's see, this is summer. It tells me it also shows it in D2L, I think, but I had it ends earlier than I thought it should, July 23rd, I think, but that's because we started June 29th, so that's the summer. It should have been at the front calendar. Oh, I know where it is. Hold on. I will pull it up here. Here it is. Are y'all still seeing share screen?
Yeah.
Can you see the calendar? Okay. All right. So this is the 8 weeks classes. Here's the second 4 weeks. And, okay, the official last day is July 25th. What I think I have scheduled is for your final presentations to be uploaded by July 23rd to your blog. But what I always tell students is that even though the presentation, I want that done by then, there may be things on the assignment checklist that you didn't include on there that you're still working on, and I will give you until July 25th to complete everything on the checklist. Oh, I see your question, Wesley. That's the final project. Yes, that's correct. Those two quizzes, quiz number 1 and quiz number 2, I think I have a date on those inside D2L. But the other things, there are no hard due dates in a 4-week thing. What I try to do is let you know what you need to have done. Like the blog posts seem to be what students wait till the last minute, and so your post, I can tell when, I'm not that I'm going to take off a bunch of points, but I can tell when you've written 5 posts in an hour, okay? The idea is to read an article or 2 a week and see how your posts progress the more you study what all the tutorials that are out there in DeltinaU on how to properly do that. And also creating all of the badges for your blog. It should go and tell you that in that Facebook Essentials. You should end up with a Facebook link inside your blog that I can click on and go straight to your Facebook. And I know some students, I didn't address this tonight, but have asked, okay, do I have to create a new one? That's totally up to you. Some students do not want their personal Facebook connected, and you can actually create a professional page off of your personal Facebook, or you can simply create one just for this class. It's totally up to you. Just so when I click on the Facebook badge in your WordPress blog, that it takes me to the one that you want me to see. Okay, does that answer your question, Wesley?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
All right. Anybody else? Oh, I still have people that did not get in trying to start their own video call. I'll have to see what happened there. All right. If you guys have no more questions, then I'm going to go ahead and close this, and it should have recorded. So if there's anything that you want to go over again or see what I said and you can't get me in a Hangout, then you can play it back. So, all right. See you guys later then.
Thank you,
All right, thanks.
Uh-huh.